Welcome back, everybody. We are in the Verruckt Sanatorium, and as you know, it's time to see if this place is actually sanitary. Let's do this. So I think the first thing that we should realistically look out for when it comes to a sanitarium is its hygiene level, because let's be honest, it needs to be very clean and hygienic if it's going to be a sanitarium. And this, to me, does not scream clean. All over the bed, you've got blood. You expecting someone to lay down on that? I mean, I know we store bodies here, but come on, people. You've got to keep it a little bit clean before you put them in and take them out. Like, come on. I also don't think it's a good thing when your shower is dropping blood. Where's the water? The toilets look clean, at least. At least we can give them that. But one thing I can't forgive is the state of this kitchen. I mean, look at this. Putting aside that is a human corpse up there, look at the mess they've left on the tabletop. You know that's going to go moldy soon. And if you're feeding people this, then oh my god, I should shut you down now. Let's not even mention that someone left the fridge open. I don't want hot beer. I'm sorry, but we're going to have to put hygiene down as a risk here. And if I'm honest, I think it's got to go pretty low. I think it's going to have to be a 70. Moving on from hygiene, I think it's clear there's going to be a lot of tripping hazards here. I mean, you've got cables running all over the place here, man. I mean, this one's just going over the wall, nothing covering it at all. And that's the main switch to power as well. You got doors and bricks that you could fall over here. That's never good. Plenty more cables running around the place. Mind you, I don't think it's quite as bad as Nacht, because there's no like columns sticking out and whatnot. So I am going to give it an 80. Now, you could go around here and think that there is a lot of rubble, which could be classified as shrapnel. But after going through Nacht last time around, I'm actually going to change it up a bit. And we're going to say that shrapnel is more stuff like broken glass instead of like rubble. Otherwise, we would be marking that down on every single map. And whilst there is a lot of rubble around, there's only a few areas like this one here and over in the corner here where I actually found actual shrapnel like glass. So whilst it is going to be a hazard, we're not actually going to put it down as a high one. I'm going to give it a 90. Okay, next up, I'm seeing this massive set of flames here. I don't think this is going to class as a low tier burn, if I'm honest. That definitely is going to really hurt. That's really going to cause you some issues if you end up in that. There's not really any other fire on the map apart from this one, which isn't as bad, but I cannot get over how big the other one is over here. That one's definitely going to hurt you more, so I am going to have to class this as a high grade burn. And as a high grade burn, I think I'm going to have to give it a 50. Now, I'm looking around here and I'm looking at the building itself and how stable it is. I am noticing there are some, let's say, gaps in the walls in certain areas, like this one here. This pillar is definitely starting to go here, which isn't great. I mean, I don't think this was open plan beforehand. Even part of the roof's missing over there. Another part of the roof is missing here, and a massive part of the wall. I mean, the roof's on fire over there, which means it's probably going to burn away soon. This whole section here is collapsed above the fire, which is never good. And I'm pretty sure this isn't even meant to be a walkway. I mean, I think that's the main door in and out. So, you know, that's missing. And it does look like this is a bit of a patch job here, if I'm honest. Trying to cover up what's not looking so good. But whilst there are some issues with this building, I definitely don't think it's as bad as that. I mean, when you look at the majority of the walls, they are pretty stable. I mean, looking at that building, yeah, it does look a bit run down, but it does look like it's still pretty much intact, which is good. I don't have a fear of it falling down on me at any time soon, is basically what I'm getting to. So whilst I am going to count the building stability as a risk, I am actually going to give it a 60. Now, that pretty much does it for the medium tier risks, in my opinion. So we're now going to move on to see if there are any high tier risks around the building and see if there's anything that catches our eye that could be potentially life ending. Okay, so I've gone around this map a few times now, and if I'm being honest, I cannot find any high tier risk around this map. The likes of being crushed, exploding, impaling, drowning, it just doesn't seem to be on this map. The only other concerning thing that I found was this massive water pipe that's burst, that's left a massive puddle on the floor, and as you can see, there are actual bolts of electricity running through the water. Now, that could cause electrocution, which could, I guess, lead to death. The only thing is, it is a medium tier risk overall, but because of the severity that it could cause, I am going to give it a 40 because I believe this is probably the worst risk that we have on this map. Overall, I'd say it feels like it's a much more safer map than that was. I mean, it still doesn't look great, don't get me wrong, but it feels a bit safe. But there is one more thing we have to do, and we have to see if there are any safety measures in place to see if this map can get a boost. There is a warning sign here suggesting that you could get electrocuted from all this, which is good to see because there are little sparks coming out of this cable every now and again. So that does warn us. There's also another electricity sign warning here, which is nice. And there's also a sign here saying shock Gefar, which means risk of a shock, I believe. So we are actually being warned that there are potential hazards. And a nice big electric bolt that could kill us is actually behind a fence with a warning sign on it. So I think we could put down warning signs as a safety feature on this map, which will give it a +5. Although I do think that is the only thing that we can really add to the safety side of this map. I was thinking about adding in these railings, but since it has all of these like metal protected sheet things here that I think are meant to help, let's just say they're not really helping anymore because they're like completely gone. So I'm not going to put railings down as a safety feature on this map. That's for certain. So I think as a whole, that is the map safety check completed. Now, just to go over what we found, the hazards that were spotted out were hygiene with a rating of 70, tripping hazards with a rating of 80, shrapnel with a rating of 90, high-grade burns with a rating of 50, building stability with a rating of 60, and our lowest rating of them all, electrocution, with a rating of 40. Now, if we put all of those risks together and we get the mean number again, Verruckt actually comes out with a rating of 65 out of 100. But, of course, we do have our one safety addition to add to this, which was the warning signs, which gives us a +5, meaning that overall, Verruckt gets a total rating of 70 out of 100. This means that now we have two maps. Verruckt takes first place on the safety rating list, which means in theory, as of now, Verruckt is the safest map in Call of Duty that we've ranked so far. Not hard when there's only two maps done so far. Hey there, this is future me recording the video, and I forgot to put in the new tier list for this series. So here it is. This is what we're going off. We have got 6 different categories here. Top tier being above standards with a rating of 90 to 100. Safe being our second tier with a rating of 80 to 89. Borderline okay being our third tier with 70 to 79. Needs work being our fourth tier with 60 to 69. At risk being our second lowest tier at 40 to 59, and shutdown being our lowest tier, ranking between 1 and 39. Now, last week, Nafta and Toten ranked in the needs work category, and this week, Verruckt, of course, ranks in the borderline okay category. Back to the video. But the question is, will that change in the future? If you want to see if that will change in the future, and you want to see more of these maps being ranked via their safety, then let me know by leaving a like on this video. Apart from that, if you do want to watch more content, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I hope you'll have a good time, and I shall see you in the next video.